Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is Smiley. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can add her. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. She says I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. saw summer's name and felt the heart weak and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard of Sebastian, her sadness rose. She prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones on her, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. She said, I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones of her. She's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello, Sherry and Sherry's Opinion. I hope you're doing well today. Oh, yeah. Something is fishy. Something is fishy. Thank you for saying, in my opinion. I heard where that brother sued for $2 million at one time. I'm just saying. Oh, goodness gracious. So I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody in the bushes. I hope everybody's doing great today. This is December 17th, Wednesday, hump day. December 17th, 2025, right? So I hope it's going good. I hope it's not raining on you. How's the weather there in Sherry's Opinion? Is it cold where you're at? I woke up this morning and it was chilly here again. It's not supposed to be this cold in Florida. It's not supposed to. So, yeah. And I had an appointment this morning. I ran out, got that done. I was supposed to have it at 1 and they scheduled it for 11, which is not too far down the road. So that made it good. I could get back and get everything taken care of here. And what I wanted to do today, I wanted to go over JonBenet Ramsey. This is, her name, it still echoes loudly, very loud. This is a case that won't ever be forgotten, I don't think. How could it? How could it? And I don't think it will. They say, if you haven't heard, in Sherry's Opinion and anybody in the bushes, if you haven't heard, they've come out in the last few days and said that they have new information on this case that they're going to be looking into. And even her dad says, he wanted a new, fresh set of eyes. I don't know what to say about any of that family, to be honest with you. But everything is just in my opinion. And I can't, on this, things are mighty suspicious, but it is it's just weird. It's just really strange. And so we got to remember that everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This has been going on since December 26, 1996. JonBenet Ramsey, that beautiful little girl right there on my screen. Gorgeous. She was gorgeous. And, you know, she was in beauty pageants all the time. They dressed her up. They dolled her up. Sometimes, you know, I don't know what to think about that either. You know, I think sometimes her mom was trying to live her life through JonBenet, but that's just me. There are some people out there, you know, when I had my granddaughter, she did modeling and all that. So I can't say anything about it, but there's got to be some kind of, I don't know. Some of these parents, man, they seem like they put, and I'm not just saying Patsy, these parents, they seem like they put so much pressure on these little young girls. And it's a lot. It's a lot. We're going to go through it. What I want to do, I guess first I got several news clips. I guess I will play. I don't know where everybody's at. Everybody's out to lunch or taking a nap after lunch, and that's okay. If you come in, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're in the bushes, please hit that thumbs up, like, share, sub, whatever. All that's free. Hype it up. If you can hype it up, hype it up. I appreciate it. It's all free. And I appreciate your support here. And we'll get these stories out more and more and more. Let's play some of these videos.
Nearly 3 decades since the death of 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey, Boulder, Colorado police say they now have new evidence. Police have made it an annual tradition to provide updates on the case close to the time of her murder. ABC's Andrew Dinbert is here with the details. Andrew, this case has gone unsolved since 1996. So what's the latest we're looking at right now?
Fast approaching the 29-year anniversary of the death of JonBenet Ramsey. And as you mentioned, the Boulder Police Department tries to provide yearly updates. This year, they say they've investigated new leads. They've tested old evidence. And as you mentioned, they say they found new evidence, though they didn't say what exactly has been uncovered since 1996. The Boulder Police Department has received over 21,000 tips. They've taken trips to 19 different states to investigate leads, and they've interviewed over 1,000 people in connection with the case. The hope here is that they either find a new piece of evidence that blows this thing wide open, or that there are improvements in DNA or other forensic technology, and perhaps they have the answer with them right now, just waiting for that technology to improve. The case remains unsolved nearly 3 decades later.
Wow. All right, Andrew Dinbert, thank you for the update.
So they say they have new evidence, and, you know, I'm anxious to find out what that new evidence is. Is it forensic? I mean, what is it? Again, we may not know. We may not ever know until this case is solved. Just because they have new evidence or new leads don't mean that this case will be solved. Just saying. But it's a good start. They do this every year, though, around Christmas, because, again, this happened sometime Christmas, December 25th, and she was found on December 26th in her home. And so every year, you know, they come out with trying to bring this back to life, but I hope they do have new evidence. I really hope and I pray that they do. Boulder, Colorado was never the same after December 26, 1996. They just weren't. That whole community was in shock. There was a very unusual, as you know, ransom note, very long. And this is just, it was crazy. Now, they said that she died from strangulation, which to me is very personal, and she had a skull fracture. Now, a skull fracture. Somebody had to hit her pretty hard. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. Or, something happened. Something happened. And so then I'm assuming, I don't know which come first. It doesn't matter. This beautiful little girl right here is no longer here on this earth. So it don't matter. Her name still echoes. She's a child that the world will never, ever forget. We won't forget to say her name, especially around Christmas. Every year, it's a reminder. JonBenet Ramsey. She was named after her father again, and this case will never be forgotten. We do need fresh eyes on this case, and we want fresh eyes on this case. And I'm sure, a little bit of waking up on this case of JonBenet, it's not going to hurt anything. It may help. Who knows? No, we won't ever forget. That's for sure. We're not going to forget. So when John Ramsey, her father, says, when he spoke, he says he believes that new police leadership could finally move in this case and, finally bring it forward and get it moving. He seems to always want to have the hope. I hope he's right. I hope no matter what or where the leads came from, I hope they're good leads. I do. But we need somebody who is willing to re-examine everything, old assumptions and everything from the beginning. JonBenet, she wasn't just a headline. She was a little human, little beautiful girl. Again, in beauty pageants, had her whole life in front of her. She was a child. Beautiful. If I can't say that enough, what do you think predators can say? It's a shame. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. But she was a child with a name, and the world still remembers that name. It'll always echo. Unanswered violence against children, that should never, ever fade. It should never fade into history, not into books, not nowhere. And it should be solved. And it was Christmas. And it was supposed to be a happy, joyous time for her and her brother, actually. It was supposed to be a magic time of year. There was no magic in that household. None. Evidence still exists, but I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to be honest with you. Police, from day one, when they were called out there, they really screwed the cat in this one. I am not kidding. They screwed everything up. But they do have evidence, and evidence still exists. There's DNA science that's advanced now. There's so many things that we can be told and shown, and tests can be rerun, and the public never stop caring. We're not going to stop caring ever, even when there is justice, right? But time does not erase truth. It just sharpens it. It sharpens it. Hope doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean forgetting what went on, what went wrong before. Hope just means refusing to accept silence. I don't like accepting silence. I don't like it. Silence is kind of a final. And I don't, this case is not final. It's not going to be a final case until justice is served, right? JonBenet deserves that. She deserves the truth to come out no matter what, in my opinion. Let me play this other video here.
Investigators in Colorado say they have new evidence in the JonBenet Ramsey case.
This case is from 1996 of the murder of a 6-year-old child. It's captivated the public now for decades. Well, Boulder police now say they've collected and tested new evidence. No word on what that evidence is, but police say they've done new interviews also based on these new tips. Investigators still call this a cold case and one of their top priorities.
Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her family's home on December 26, 1996. Over the years, multiple people have claimed they killed her, but their confessions were ultimately discounted.
Now, I understand some people want to be famous or infamous or whatever, and it's true, but can you tell me, Sherry, maybe you can tell me, somebody tell me why these people, not just in JonBenet's case, but why there's people out there who like to claim that they unalived somebody, and why there was several that claimed that they unalived JonBenet. I mean, why? Why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense to me. I mean, I guess they want to be just infamous. Hey, Prayer Garden. Hello, honey. Hello, hello, hello. I don't know where everybody's at today. I don't know where everybody's at today, Prayer Garden. Maybe Prayer Garden can tell me that about JonBenet. Why would somebody want to claim they unalived her, Prayer Garden? I don't get it. But you know what? It's the same in, I said it the same in Dawn and Candace and everything. Why do they do the things that they do? I don't know. Some things I just don't get. I don't get. Do you want to be that infamous that you would do it, or what? Because you got to know you're going to jail, you know? And there was even somebody who did go to jail in this for a bit. So I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. But they say there is new information. And I just hope this is not coming out because it is around Christmas time, this time of year. It's been 29 years, almost going on 30 years. And I really hope that they have something. I hope that they can solve this case. This is one case I would really love to see solved. This is one of the most infamous unsolved child murder cases in America's history. But again, it shouldn't be recognition and fame. But that's so sick. But these people are sick. These people are sick. But it blows my mind. I don't get it. I don't want to be that famous. I really don't. You know? It blows my mind how people want to do that. But this shouldn't be a case that just goes down in history, that goes down in the books. JonBenet was a beautiful, beautiful little girl, and she was born August 6, 1990. I didn't realize she was born on my grandma's birthday. I never realized that before. But she lived in Boulder, Colorado. Colorado's a beautiful place. I've been there. And I personally went to JonBenet's house. I didn't go inside. When I went, it was wintertime too. No, I lied. I'm telling a lie, straight lie. It was in July 4th is when I went. But when I went up on that mountain, there was snow on the mountain. There was snow on the mountain. Don't let me sit here and tell you it was wintertime. Because I had my grandkid and her friend with her. And when we got up on top of the mountain, they started making snowballs and throwing snowballs. And it was the 4th of July. I forgot what month it was. Oh my God. But I went to her house because, of course, I wanted to see. Hello, Nana. Welcome in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. Prayer Garden said, maybe it was outside and they were, yeah, maybe they were seeking 3 hots and a God. You know, some people, they just want that. They do. Some people are just so institutionalized. Boy, I know somebody like that who just loves, they get out and they get right back in. And they got a home. They got, you know, somewhere to go. They got family, brothers, sisters, mom, their dad's even alive, I believe, but they got places to go. Grandma, I think they got a grandma. I think the grandma's still alive. But the point is, some people get so institutionalized, they don't want to get out here and work. They don't want to get out here and do nothing. It would kill them. It's cold there in California. Woo! It's cold here in Florida, and it's strange. But I take nothing for granted. Ever since last year, we had a snow. And when we had a snow, honey, I will never doubt again. I don't doubt anything. I just don't. I don't. But I went to JonBenet's house because, of course, I couldn't be in Boulder, Colorado without seeing it. And this is way before I got into YouTube and stuff like that. But this is just my personal opinion, and everybody's got an opinion. Beautiful home. Look, these pictures don't do it justice. I think it's a beautiful home. And people was walking their dogs. They were out, you know, walking, whatever they do, exercising. And it was a lot of people. And the houses are, of course, very close together. And I was thinking back on that, and, you know, it was wintertime when this happened to her, and there was snow on the ground when this happened to her. But I was just thinking, in my personal opinion, just mine, you don't have to take my word for it, I don't see how anybody got in there. In other words, I'm saying I don't see how it was an outside job. That's just my personal opinion. But I'm not here to blame anyone because I don't know. Now, the way that house was made, yeah, that's what in Sherry's opinion said. And I said, thank you for putting in your opinion, because I said one time he sued somebody for $2 million. I heard, I was doing my research. And I'm like, well, I can come after Smiley for $2 million, honey. Smiley ain't got it. I put an IOU out there. I owe you a high five and a bye-bye. Hey, Grateful. Oh, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I don't see how it was an outside job. Thank you for that, saying that also. And not only that it was strange about the ransom note, It was wrote with Patsy's pen. It was wrote in the house. It was wrote on the pages. Somebody go in there and take the time. And they're all in the house, and it's on Christmas, and they go up and get up there, and he's in the bedroom with her. I mean, no, I don't buy it. And the ransom was his exact, which is odd. Was it $118,000 ransom? I mean, come on, people. They did not solve the JonBenet Ramsey case because they were too focused on the parents. Yeah, instead of the truth. Yep, I think, you're right. I think you're right. And I think one day it'll be solved. But will it? Is that what Dee Dee thinks too? Yeah. And I think one day it will be solved, but when, I don't know. Will this new evidence help? I don't know. Because like I said, something always comes out anyway around Christmas time, just like it does in Summer's case, around her birthday, around June 15th when she disappeared. You can always look, and the same thing with Sebastian, you can always look at the dates, and things always come out just around important points. Mama P wrote that ransom. Now I do think she did write that ransom note. I do think that. And y'all know what I'm saying, but and two, were they, again, I put two and two together. I don't think it was from outside the household. Prayer Garden just said, and I don't know if that's what she meant, but I'm just going to say it goes with what I'm saying and what y'all are saying. Prayer Garden just said they couldn't solve the case because they were too focused on the parents. Well, I'm saying, in my opinion, was they just not focusing on the right one inside? I think it was an inside job. That's just me. And was there protection going on? And I think the only thing grateful is I'm thinking, it could have been, that could have been where and we're just discussing this, it's just thoughts and opinions, that could have been where the fractured skull came from. But if, and then they tied, but why did they strangle her? Because she was strangled, and that was around her neck and everything. I don't know. I don't, it could have been an accident. But again, I don't understand. All of these cases could have been an accident. All of them. Sebastian, well, I don't like to say that because, I don't know if he's alive or not, but Summer, could have been an accident. Why in the world would you just not pick up the phone and call 911? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. If I was high or drunk or DCF had already come to my house, I'm sorry. And I know I have other kids. Yes, I want to protect them. That's not Dawn and Candace. But what the last thought I'm getting at that I would have in my head would be, if my child died by accident, oh shit, I gotta hide, I gotta plan, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, because DCF is coming, or because I'm drunk, or because I'm high. Can y'all please get a grip? Let's get real. I don't buy it. But that's just me. I don't never buy it. I don't never buy that shit. If you look at the actual case report, it is full of errors. Karen Weak quality screw up by Boulder PD had no homicide experience. Yeah, I mean, they screwed it up. They screwed the pooch. They did. The police did there, you know. But I don't think it was an outside job. That's just me, and it could have been. Now, she was 6 years old at the time of her death. And John Ramsey, we know he was a business executive and way up there. And Patsy, the mother, she enrolled her in all kinds of pageants. And I guess she was the stay-at-home mom and, you know, all those things. Okay. She didn't have to work. Okay. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Come on in. Come on in. She had an older brother, as we know, Burke Ramsey. We all know that. And he's not talked very much. I think, has he gave one interview? Did he give that one interview to Dr. Phil, or is that the only one he's gave? Because I think that's the only one he gave. But that's beside the point. They had a beautiful home. They had a beautiful family on all accounts, all of them. It was like a storybook household. But was it really? Was it really? We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't. December 25th, 1996, it was the night everything changed in that house. Why? I don't know, but everything changed. If it was an accident, I don't know. If it was, you know, a minor, I don't know. I can't say everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I've had thoughts on the mother. I've had thoughts on the father that, you know, quickly left my mind. I don't believe, in my opinion, John did anything. I could be wrong. But if I had to choose between him and Patsy, I would think it would be more Patsy. But I think Prayer Garden's right. I think they focus too much on the wrong people. That Santa Claus, yeah, he was creepy. He was creepy. He was a professor, and he told JonBenet that he was going to be coming back to see her. That's, you know, that's creepy, even when you're playing Santa Claus. I don't know. I don't know. But Christmas night, the Ramseys, they attended a party, right? They attended a party at the friend's house. And JonBenet reportedly fell asleep in the car and was carried to bed. And no one reported hearing anything. Well, you remember they found that bowl of pineapples. So, you know, I don't know. I know myself, I always know if there's a noise in the house. I cannot sleep. And I'm not a light sleeper. But if I hear something around my house or in my house or something, yep, I'm either yelling out to, you know, calling a name to see if that's who it is, or I'm thinking it's one of the dogs, or I'm getting my ass up and I'm going to go check and see what it is. I'll check my cameras, check my doors, make sure they're locked. I'm going to check all the things. But especially if it were my kids or my grandkids, I would know if they were in the kitchen. Of course, I got a smaller house than they did, but It doesn't matter. I've been in big houses. I've been in small houses. It don't matter. There was a guy that said he helped Santa Claus that night and he ended up dead. Yes, I remember. Oh my God, I remember that. Well, December 26, 1996, the ransom note showed up. That was later in the afternoon after the police got there, right? So about 5:52 a.m., Patsy Ramsey called 911 and she reported, she found JonBenet missing. There was a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note, and that was found on the staircase. The note demanded $118,000. That was exactly to the penny John's recent bonus amount was. They claimed JonBenet was kidnapped, and they warned John and Patsy, the parents, not to contact the police. That's what the note said. And it was written, they figured out, while whoever was inside the house, right? It was written on Patsy's stationery. They used Patsy's pen. Well, was it somebody trying to set them up? Maybe. I mean, I'm not here to dispute that, but maybe. But again, I'm thinking, who in their right rabbit ass mind would sit there and go in somebody's house? Hell, they might as well have went in there and took a shower, took a shit, and put on John's clothes. Who would do that? You take the time. There's a deceased child down in the basement, and you're going to write the note and you're going to put it on the staircase, 2.5 pages, and you're going to know exactly how much John had in his bonus. Now, could that have been somebody heard John talk about it, Patsy talk about it? Could it been something, if somebody was in the house that they found that showed on the bank account? I don't know. Yeah, any of that could have happened, but did it? I don't know. Or was it a cover-up? Did she write the note? If she did, or if they were covering up for somebody, and I guess you never know until you're in them shoes. That's what I was, I guess you never know. Never say never. But how, you have time then if you're doing it. But if it's somebody else, an intruder, I just don't see it. I don't see it. If they ever solve this case, I think it's going to be a true miracle. I hope they do. And if it is an outsider, I'm going to tell you right now, Smiley wants to meet up with that outsider, because I want to stand there about 5 good minutes and I want to stare at them. I don't care if they look at me or not. I want to look them up and down just to see what kind of idiot, because I want to study them. I want to know what kind of idiot would go in a house, take their time, write a note, 2.5 pages on their paper with their pen, with the deceased child, and on Christmas at that. I mean, we've heard of world's dumbest criminals. Okay. And there are some crazy people out there. I'm not saying it couldn't have happened. Sure, it could have. Could have. But remember, there was also no footprints in the snow either. Let's not forget that. I believe Santa wrote the note. He took a tour of the house, and he even knew, and you know, he could have took some paper with him. He could have took some paper with him. I'm not disputing any of that. I'm not. Because you're right. He could have had his eye on her, right? And he could have did that. But to take a 2.5-page letter and do that, I just want to see what kind of person would do that. But you're not going to see them if they're dead. I'm just saying. Now, don't forget, again, they used Patsy's pen to write the note. But after all these years, surely they can come up with something. They have evidence. They have new evidence. They've re-interviewed, as you heard, new witnesses. What are these new facts? Supposedly new tips. The ransom note is still considered one of the strangest ever found in a criminal case, ever. And I can see why. I can. Yeah, you could have been in the house for hours. You could have. I mean, it's a big house. I'll give you that. But I don't know. It just seems like an intruder would not take their chance. I don't know. I almost like going up on that hill with them dogs and grandma. And I mean, that's just the way I see it. Everybody else can have their own opinion. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's so wild. But there were mistakes made. There were mistakes made by the police. The case, they treated it as a kidnapping, not a homicide, and that was even after she was found. The home was not secured. That home was never secured properly. And that was a real problem. And I think it'll be a problem in this case later on if it's solved. Because I think a lot of this crap will have to be thrown out, whether it's true or not true. I think a lot of it's, if it's ever solved, probably going to have to, if somebody's still alive or whatever, I feel like they can't use it. They had the police let friends and family they were allowed inside, contaminating everything, the scene. That again is a big problem. It's a huge problem. No full search of the house was done. I mean, not done immediately. And that was something that was really wild to me. And those early mistakes, I think also haunted this case as well. And I think they forever will. They said they will continue. They have continued, and they will do so. And I believe that. But around 1:00 p.m., that was almost 8 hours later, John Ramsey, the father, and a family friend were asked to search the house again. So they did. That's when John found JonBenet's body in the basement in a storage room. She was wrapped in a blanket. She had duct tape over her mouth. She had a cord around her neck. And John carried her upstairs. That means he further contaminated evidence. Now I'm going to say this. I don't blame him. If that was me and I didn't have anything to do with it and that was my child, I would be in shock. I would pick that child up and I would do the same thing. It's natural. And that's a lot of times why the police don't want these parents to go out and search. I can tell you the last thing on my mind would be thinking about contaminating a scene. It probably wouldn't even register with me at that point that it was even a crime scene. It probably wouldn't even register to me what happened if I didn't even have anything to do with it. So I don't blame John for that. He picked his baby girl up and he ran up the stairs in shock, as anyone would, and definitely not thinking about contaminating any evidence. But see, all that don't matter. That's exactly what happened, intention or not. And so, can that evidence be used is the question. I don't know. Can it be used in a court of law? I don't know. Let's remember there are words that in the note from the movie Inside the House, Santa said he would have knew that. Absolutely. And Santa was the next thing apart from any family or anything like that. I agree. Santa was a perfect choice, and had the opportunity, had the means. He was there. He could have got fixated on JonBenet. He could have already been fixated on her. Anybody could have through these pageants and stuff. And again, I am not blaming Patsy for putting her in there. She's beautiful. I did the same with my granddaughter. Not to that extreme, but yeah. But evidence. See, this is where I'm getting tripped up. PG, you might want to help me on this one. This is where I'm getting tripped up. Because the evidence, though, and I have a thought on this, but the evidence shows there was prior sexual, but it says injury, okay? And it said not necessarily from that night, which to me, that was bothersome. But it was bothersome at the very least, but they said not that very night. So I was thinking, hey, little Red O, hello, good to see you. I'm glad you caught me too. So I was thinking, and this is just a thought, I'm throwing it out there and going to let it try to stick to the wall. I'm Smiley's throwing Jell-O today. But with the DNA part, because we know DNA don't lie. And if that person's not dead, someday that DNA might come in handy, come in the system because they got the DNA, right? But here's the thing. But they said it don't necessarily mean from that night. Okay. Now, could it have been somebody at that party that we will never know about? Could it have just been two terrible things that happened? She was getting that and just this happened as well. Is that even possible? Maybe. What do you think about that one, PG? I don't know. It trips me up. I'll say that. It trips me up on the DNA part, and it trips me up on, what they said about that. But friends and family, they were allowed inside the house while this investigation was going on. PG says she don't believe that. The children stated the children were happy and in a perfect health. And I believe that the children were happy. I just don't know where they're getting that information, but that was in some of the reports. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm drinking my tea like it's going out of style. I'm drinking it like it's going out of style. But I don't know, I hope not. I hope nothing ever happened to her. But DNA is a good tool, but touch DNA is unreliable. And see, we don't know. We just don't know. But they did say they don't think anything happened to her like that. But these are early mistakes that they made. I mean, 1 o'clock, around 1 o'clock, 8 hours later, sending John and his friend down there. Letting people in and out of the house. All those things. But I could see him in shock. I really could. I know one thing. These people never gave Patsy rest, even after she had her cancer or anything like that. And they never gave these people rest. In the autopsy, they said the cause of death was the blunt force trauma to the head and strangulation. So in the autopsies where they're saying that there was prior sexual injury. So whether that was true or not, I don't know. But not necessarily from that night. I don't know. They said the time between the head injury and the death was probably about 45 minutes to 2 hours. And they said she had undigested pineapple in her. And, that's important because somebody in that home, if you don't remember, somebody in that home, they found a bowl of pineapple that was found in the kitchen on the table. And JonBenet evidently ate some because it was in her autopsy. But that was shortly before her death, and that's why it showed up, right? But the problem was Patsy and John, they denied giving it to her. And I don't believe they did because that's very easily, I mean, what's the big deal if she had pineapple or not, right? But Burke later acknowledged, and I think he was just scared he was going to get in trouble on that part. He later acknowledged, yes, that was their favorite snack, and so I guess, again, they had went down to get snack, or she had went down to get snack. I don't know. But evidently she ate the pineapple. So that come right out of their house in their refrigerator. Yeah, maybe. Have y'all ever wondered why? I don't know if it's the beard or not. I'm just wondering. Seems like a lot of kids are scared of Santa Claus. I'm just wondering. And is it the beard? Is it really the beard? I mean, they sure don't want to sit in Santa's lap. They sure don't want to have their pictures made. They sure don't want to leave their mom and dad. And I'm just wondering, I guess it's just like a big old clown or something. Not to say anything bad. I'm just saying, have y'all ever wondered that? I just thought I'd throw that in there. I mean, if you're at the mall, or here or there, I don't know. I never was scared of Santa Claus. I never was scared of much, though. I always thank everybody for everything. My grandmother said I would thank people for going to the health department or the doctor and getting my shot. And I would say, thank you. Oh, my God. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just polite. I just try to be polite sometimes. I guess I learned that at an early age. But not much scares me. Not much scares me. Mm-mm-mm. Um, kind of like kids are clown. Yeah, sometimes they don't like clowns. They're scared of clowns or something about how they look or something like that. It's just it's frightening, and it's not an everyday look. Now, one of my sons, my second son, I always call him by number. My second son, he never, and I said, you're taking the joy away from the kids. Now, he's got kids now, but he has older kids. And but him and the mother never lied and said, this is Santa. He said, I'm not lying to my kids. I'm not going to tell them this, tell them that, whatever. So they always knew Santa Claus wasn't real. I guess is what I'm saying from the get-go. They always knew it come from mommy and daddy, even if it was set out from Santa Claus or whatever. I'm like, you know what? You're ruining all the magic. I only got one knucklehead. He's always a knucklehead. I'm just saying. He's the Grinch that stole Christmas. But no, I think it is because they don't, something about them is different. When my child was 3, Loretto said, my husband had to leave work to come over to the mall to so our baby would let them make a picture of him with Santa. Right. I mean, isn't that crazy? And yeah, I remember sometimes when my older 2 was little, I would get up there and sit down on the lap, or whatever. I mean, because sometimes they were just like, what are you doing handing me to this stranger? But it comes with the same with Halloween and stuff and, all different kinds of things. But yeah, I just wondered. I thought I'd throw that in there and throw a wrench in this today. I just wondered. It has nothing to do with nothing. It don't. Except Prayer Garden, she thinks it was that Santa Claus, and I think she's got a good point. It could be. I think he had the motive and the means and the opportunity. Hey, H. Davis. Good to see you, honey. Thank you for being here. Thank you. So, my question is, how did John and Patsy, though, was it just the house that was so big? Possible that they didn't hear either JonBenet or Burke in the kitchen. I mean, I guess they were being triple quiet to get the pineapple. Maybe the pineapple, I can't remember. Wasn't the pineapple, Prayer Garden it wasn't a canned pineapple, wasn't it like a real pineapple? And Patsy it was already cut, right? My children always knew. Yes, absolutely. And that's the way my son felt, that, that wasn't, real. But then he carried it a step further and it went into, the bunny rabbit and the, all the other things. So it kind of made it hard in this household. It kind of made it hard, like when my other grandkids would be believing in Santa Claus and these wouldn't. And, so it was kind of hard in that. But I get the gist of it. I do. But yeah, Jesus is definitely the reason and the only reason for the season. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't know. I think that was a real pineapple and Patsy might have had it. But I was thinking if they had to get in there and you got 2 kids in there and, rambling around, I don't know. Would you hear it? I don't know. That was my question. So did they just sleep sound enough they didn't hear it? I don't know. All kinds of things could have went in that house. Like I said, I was there. I wasn't inside, but like I said, we don't know. Hell, that house might have been soundproof. They had the money to do whatever they wanted to do. And by it being so close to other homes, and it was probably just built good too. And if they were upstairs and this was going on downstairs, yeah, sure, they could not know it. But there was so many theories in this case back then. It still is, but I think people's calmed down a lot now. Patsy had gave her some pineapple before bed, and it was setting in the table. Yeah, it was setting at the table, and Santa would have. Yeah, that's possible. It's possible. Very possible. Very possible. And that could have been what also lured her into down in the storage room. I don't know. But they said an unidentified male's DNA was found on her clothes. Not just, so I guess they had ruled out everybody in the house. And if I remember correctly, they did. But again, that's just where I said, could something have happened at the party? Could that DNA just been where she touched DNA, brushed up against somebody, or something like that? We don't know. I hate that that's even put in there, because we don't know what that means, except for the autopsy said the other part. And I don't like that. I don't like that. But this theory is also supported by John Ramsey later on, and investigators, they say they have it, they have this evidence. But I don't know, did somebody try, did they know about the ransom? Did they know to put the $118,000? I don't know. There's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of unanswered questions. There was another theory out there, and we all know, we're sitting here talking about it now. There was theory out there that the family, somebody in the family was involved. Patsy's been named, John's been named, Burke's been named. And to tell you this, to this day, people still do point fingers. But police and media, you got to remember, back then they heavily scrutinized Patsy and John. They did. But they look, like Prayer Garden said, maybe they just couldn't get their focus off of them, because why did they have DNA, whether it was touch DNA, this DNA, that DNA, witnesses, this, that, and other? There was never no arrest. They couldn't prove anything. You have to prove something before somebody can get arrested, right? If we all thought that, people would be going to jail, locked up every day, if we thought we could just put people in jail on thoughts. But the ransom note style is what threw them all, I think. I do. And they had it analyzed. God, I remember that on Oprah and way back when, and all these talk shows, and it was analyzed. They said it was Patsy's similarity to her handwriting. They always thought it was her. The theory was that it was staged, a stage scene that'll make it true, but no family member was ever charged. I guess they never could prove that, obviously, or we wouldn't be here today. There were those who thought at the time, with plenty of speculation, and I can see they do today, that the brother, I won't even call his name, accidentally injured JonBenet. Well, CBS, they aired in 2016 this documentary. Y'all might remember that. And they suggested just that. And when they suggested that, Burke sued the hell out of them. And rightfully so. He was just a kid himself, but rightfully so. He sued the hell out of them for defamation, and he won the settlement. And that's what I was talking about before. You know, they could never prove Burke did anything, and there was never no evidence that he had ever legally been tied to anything to do with his sister's death. But we still all have thoughts. We still all have opinions. And can it still be true? Sure, it can. Was it? I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. And I'm not here to accuse nobody. I'm not here to throw blame on nobody or any of that, because I don't know. I just want to talk about JonBenet. It's coming up Christmas time. They've got this new evidence. It's been all over the news for the last 2 days. And I've had nothing but time on my hands since I've been down. Let's just put it like that. Since I've been down and had my surgery, I've had nothing but time on my hand. I'm actually getting quite a lot done, actually, without doing anything. It doesn't even make sense. It don't make sense to me, but okay. But I just wonder, and this is, again, just hypothetically, because I have to go here. I can't help myself. I wonder if hypothetically, if they ever find, just hypothetically, proof and prove that he did do something. Okay, I'm just saying, what if he did? That wouldn't be no longer defamation. I just wondered last night, it popped in my head. I said, would he have to pay that $2 million back? Damn. Just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know. Hey there. Hello. Come on in. Good to see you, Andrea. I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for being here. But no, he got him for defamation, and anybody that's smart would not do that. But, there's zero proof. I just hope that this case is solved. I mean, it's took almost 30 years. But in 1998, 99, there was a grand jury. Okay, and the grand jury, they reviewed the case, okay, at the time, back then, and they voted to indict John and Patsy Ramsey. Now, this is where I want people in the Sebastian case to listen. Listen to me, okay? They voted to indict John and Patsy Ramsey for child abuse resulting in the death of JonBenet. Okay, was they right? I don't know, but they indicted them. They kept it a secret indictment. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all, and this is why I'm trying to bring it out. It's nothing that's not already brought out. But I want some people to hear this. Okay? They couldn't, and they didn't, because the DNA did not match up to indict. Okay, it cited insufficient evidence, right? But the indictment, and this is the part I want you to hear, because people don't believe it. Prayer Garden does, and people with sense does, common sense. But I'm not going to be able to stress this enough. The indictment that they had on John and Patsy Ramsey, the parents of JonBenet. Okay, I told y'all that was in 98 or 99, right? Well, they kept that indictment secret for years. In fact, that indictment was kept secret until 2013. Now, those who say it can't happen with an indictment, you better check yourself. It happens. Absolutely happens. But that secrecy of that indictment, it damaged the public trust. That's what it did. And in 2008, new DNA testing excluded John, Patsy, and Burke. Okay? It excluded them. So Boulder DA formally cleared the family. Okay? They said DNA belonged to an outside, unknown male. Okay? But I think that's very important because people don't believe it. It does happen with these grand juries. They can be secret for years and years and years. Hey, Cinderella, hello. And, you know, don't be surprised, people, sometimes if people really is not guilty, but they're holding on to them indictments just to find a body, is my point. So who screwed up? The cops? Well, it sure shifted the case backwards. It kind of focused it back to the intruder theory at that point. The Ramseys were tried in the media and in public for decades. Patsy died. She died of ovarian cancer in 2006. She was never charged. She never knew what happened to her baby. Not unless it's something her and God knows both together. But she didn't get closure. She didn't know. Okay? The police did clear them publicly. John has continued to advocate for DNA testing and for justice. He wants justice for JonBenet, as far as I can see. But there's still no justice. So who's telling the truth? Who's lying? I believe John. I also don't believe Natalie Holloway's mother would have been with John or married him. If I remember correctly, I think they're divorced now, but if she would have thought he was guilty of anything, but that's just my opinion. But right now there's advances in genetics, and it's these advances, they were used on the Golden State Killer case. JonBenet her case has pushed for individual investigations, for federal involvement. They want all of this. You know, new police leadership. John wants that daily. Boulder police say this case remains active, but they also, you heard them in the news. If you don't, you'll probably hear it when I play it again in a minute. They have new evidence. They've re-examined or are re-examining. They're talking to many more. Whatever this new evidence is, they say the case remains active. They say progress is slow. But will they get anywhere with it? I don't know, because they say in the same breath it's still a cold case. Why is it still labeled a cold case? This beautiful girl, JonBenet Ramsey, was murdered in her own home at Christmas time. She should have had sugar plums dancing in her head. You know, her and her brother, you know, they should have been happy. It could have been this family, what they look like, the storybook family on that high. I'll just say that because ain't nobody storybook. Nobody. If you say you are, you're lying. I'm sorry. But they should have been happy, had all the money in the world. Money don't get you anywhere. Trying to read what Michelle wrote. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, that was true. They were more worried about not having a frenzy going on and not doing, you know, that's what they were more worried about. And they screwed up big time. They screwed up big time. Rookie cops. I mean, you know, it was a lot of things. A lot of things was wrong with this case. I don't believe the parents did it either for only one thing. The hair. Sorry, my glasses. Found on JonBenet. Yeah, belonged to not one person in the home. Yeah, they cleared them publicly of any DNA, and it didn't belong to any of them. It cleared them. They said it was an outside source, was not them, was not, they said it was not Bert, it was not John, and it was not Patsy. They said that. DNA don't lie. I mean, sure, there can be mistakes, and like I think it was Michelle said, touch DNA and stuff like that. But it could be, you know. Michael, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. We're having a theory here that Santa Claus, remember the guy that dressed up as Santa Claus? He had the motive, means, and opportunity. I don't know. I think the truth will come out eventually. JonBenet, she was 6 years old. She didn't get to grow up. She didn't get justice. Will she ever get it? I don't know. I hope so. I think so. But you can't go on what I think. It's been 30 years. But she got something that a lot of people don't get in this world. She's never got forgotten. Her name still echoes. Her face is everywhere. And as long as her name is spoken, as long as people still demand answers, this case, they might say it's cold, but they're going to keep looking into it. They're going to keep looking into it. You know, she still deserves answers. And John, if he lives, and again, I have to say this, if he didn't, hey, prayer warrior, if he didn't have anything to do with anything, then he needs closure. Smiley, Chris and Dr. Gary theory of what did they say? See, I haven't saw them on this. I haven't saw very many people talk about JonBenet. I think Prayer Garden did one time, maybe a year or so ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw one other creator talk about it. Justin may have. He talks about everything, but I haven't really saw many people talk about JonBenet. I mean, it's out there in the news, don't get me wrong. A friend knew about the window and that window was right there. Let me tell you, that window was right there. Just can't get over the footprints, but the window was right there, and it was very easy. It could have very easily got into from the ground. Absolutely. Absolutely. JonBenet liked sparkles. She liked performing. She liked performing. She liked her little pageants. She liked getting her little ribbons and stuff like that. But she liked little girl things, and she loved to be a little girl. She was beautiful, and she would, by all accounts, like to dress up. She went to bed on Christmas night in 1996, and she never woke up. That's sad. That alone should still, stop everybody in their tracks. You tuck your baby into sleep, especially on Christmas night, and then you never see them again. That's a problem. She never got to see what Santa had brought her. She never got to open her presents. I don't know. She may have got to open her presents because they don't, I think that they open them that night. So I'm not going to go that far. I try to tell the truth on here. The facts as I know them. They said sometime in the night. So I guess she did get to have a Christmas morning. But she should have been playing with all of her stuff, right? That she got. I need to go watch it in the press in LE, and a lot of questions, details, and what happened to her. I think it would watch and review to hear your thoughts. I'll go look at it. I don't want to do it right now because you know how I am with these buttons, honeys, but I will go look at it and we'll review it again, or I'll share it and then I'll put my comments down and my thoughts on it but I know y'all want to hear me review it. Because I think there is a lot of unanswered questions to this, but it's an intriguing case because of everything that happened throughout the years. I mean, will we ever know? Will she ever get justice? Will there ever be closure? I sure hope so. I hope so. I pray she does. She deserves it, just like any other child. Let's play another video here.
Last year, we gave you an update about a lot of the work that has been done to solve this crime, and those efforts have continued. This case remains a top priority for our department.
For nearly 30 years, investigators say this specific case never stopped haunting them. JonBenet Ramsey was just 6 years old when she was found murdered in her family's Boulder, Colorado home in 1996. This month, the Boulder police released a new update confirming detectives have conducted new interviews, re-interviewed past witnesses, and collected new evidence. Police say advances in DNA technology have allowed evidence to be tested and retested while investigators continue working with the FBI and forensic experts nationwide. More than 21,000 tips have been submitted and reviewed, but investigators say evidence, especially DNA evidence, could be the key to finally solving this case. And I want to reiterate here that police say it's never too late to come forward. And specifically, the Boulder detectives say if you have any information, please reach out to them, especially because this case remains open.
So it is DNA is what they're saying that they have. But like she said, it's never too late to come forward. It's not. I mean, if you know anything, it's the same thing as in other cases. If you know something, if you remember something, if you saw something, You know, if you've moved away from there and you remember something, but you didn't want to get involved, get involved. Say something. She mattered. Her life mattered. She was loved. She was loved then. She's loved now. She matters now, today. She won't be forgotten. She's not going to be dismissed either. We're still holding out hope. Hope that whatever that they have, that it's not just because it's Christmas time. That's what my hope is. That it's not just because it's Christmas time that they're coming out, you know, talking about this. And the news has got a hold of it and everything. I hope that soon they come out with a press conference and they can put this entire case to, rest, closure. We're all still holding out hope on this case. Then maybe Patsy can finally rest. So many people, the community, JonBenet's little friends, everybody was affected by this. The neighbors, but their lives was torn to pieces. But we're still holding out hope. We hope that this case will be solved. Sometimes just because you have the person or a body, you see, it can go unsolved for years. And that justice is never complete until all the pieces to the puzzle come together. All of them. I agree. Yeah, and press sometimes can get a little bit carried away. They can. No. Are you serious? My God. Lord have mercy, honey. I listened to your live last night. I put a replay on it. It was sometime this morning. I don't even know. I got up. I'm like, I got to move, honey. I got to get up and move. But I listened to Prayer Garden. I'm like, I don't know. These people are, but she was, I love listening to Prayer Garden. She tells it, but that's for real. Are you serious? Lord have mercy. Now look, Prayer Garden, I got to ask you something. I heard, and I'm sorry, I got to ask you, did you or did you not, the truth, tell me, did you get married? Because I wanted to congratulate you, but I didn't know if that was true or not. And so I didn't want to stick my foot in my mouth. But I'm asking you now. I knew that I heard you say at one time you were seeing somebody, and I'm very happy for you. And I don't mean to bring your personal business in here, but I just want to know, did you get married? Are you still PG? Are you still Miss Prayer Garden? And yes, we're having a baby. Well, congratulations to both. Congratulations. When is the due date? What? No, you got to keep that private. You can't tell us when the due date is. But we can have you online shower. Maybe we'll have you an invisible shower. No, seriously. That's no joke. That is true. Are you serious, Prayer Garden? Or is that just the YouTube streets? Because I don't know, honey. Smiley is out of the loop. But sometimes you take what these people say with a grain of salt. But congratulations. PG knows I love her. Yes, on YouTube. I will always be Prayer Garden. Oh, you sure will. There ain't nobody that could take your place. Absolutely. Hey, look, I've been laid up in the bed. I had to go to the doctor today. I look a little bit better today, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this since Prayer Garden's in here. Uh-oh. Hold on. I ain't going to do nothing if I don't get this camera off. Oh, shit. Wait. So freaking lootly. Only Prayer Garden told me I could do that, honey. Abso-freaking-lutely. Her channel is Prayer Garden of America. I don't even know where my mods is today. They are shopping for Christmas, I guess. They are shopping for Christmas. Yeah, you'll love Prayer Garden if you go over there. Prayer Garden tells it like it is. Let me see if I can get her channel dropped in here. I used to love that. I'd get a kick out of, I would get a kick out of Prayer Garden saying, abso-freaking-lutely. Y'all would just have to know. Y'all just have to know. Prayer Garden has talked to me several times, and you know, I appreciate Prayer Garden. I do. Uh-oh, here's my thing. All right, here's her link. Let's see. Here's her link right there, I think. Yep, there it is. Y'all go over there and sub up to her. Who else we got in here? Let's put little red O's down. Little red. Let me go. Uh-oh, hold on. Little red. There. No, that ain't it. Hold on. Little red. Oh, shit. Little red. I can't get on there. Hold on a minute. Little red. Oh, here you are. Okay. Duh. Smiley pushing buttons again. Okay, so there's that. I think I got that. Here's little reds. Anybody coming in? There's little red channel. Who else has got a channel in here? Cinderella, do you have a channel? I don't know if you, do you have a channel? Oh, you're okay, honey. I appreciate you. Woman's Warrior's got a channel. Let's put hers down. Hold on a minute. It's the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I doing that right? Woman's Warrior. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Lord have mercy. Just a minute. Go to channel. So I hope everybody has a great Christmas. I hope everybody's prepared. As prepared as you're going to be, I guess. All right. Here's Woman's Warrior. There's her channel. Who have we got? Cinderella. Has Cinderella got one? Because Cinderella, if you do, I did not know that, to be honest with you. Go to channel. Go to channel. I don't know if Cinderella does or not, but uh-oh. Is that you with the bear on it? What in the heck? What's going on here? Hold on. Go to channel. Okay, so I'm subscribed. Why can't I get the Why can't I get the link? I don't know why I can't get the link. Anyways, it's Cinderella. It's just under Cinderella at Cinderella dash V31. I'm losing my mind, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm losing my mind. But everybody, I appreciate everybody coming in here, spending some of your precious time with me. I'll be like, Justin, I thank you for coming in here and spending your precious time with me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Woo! Okay, she don't have a channel. Cinderella don't have a channel. Yeah, that's you. That's why I can't find a link, honey, because it's private. Gotcha. Oh my goodness. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here. Again, there's really not a lot of stuff. It's just that they are saying that they have new evidence. And as you heard, I guess it's new DNA evidence. And I just pray for her that she gets justice and they find whoever, did this, because she didn't do it to herself. Amen. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you coming in here and showing your support as well. Look, you, Josh, well, y'all are about the only two at night, but y'all go late at night, honey. I'm getting too old for that. Prayer Garden ought to be happy that Prayer Garden, look, people get on the Prayer Garden. I'm not picking on you, Prayer Garden. People get on the Prayer Garden and they say, oh, we know who Prayer Garden is, and she's this and she's that. And then Prayer Garden will come back. It tickles me to death. Prayer Garden will come back and she'll say, no, I'm not that old, and yada, yada, yada. I have these kids and so and so and so and so. Well, let me just tell you something, honey. I don't think I'm old either, but let me tell you, and I ain't saying you old. That ain't what I'm saying. I am saying Smiley cannot keep up with Prayer Garden, honey. I just can't do it. She can run circles around me. I can't do it. I can try to listen. Sometimes I'll be in the bushes in 5 minutes. I'll be like Happy over there snoring. Where is Happy anyway? We don't hear her today. Oh, they must have locked her out of here. She's in the living room somewhere. I know what it was. They got food a while ago. I should be grateful. They brought me a hamburger in. I didn't want no hamburger. I can't tell y'all when I've ate a hamburger. I'm like, what is that? I don't want that. Don't want it. But anyway, yeah. So I feel bad because you know what? I know everybody don't like everybody and stuff like that, but there's a lot of times that I personally enjoyed, when I was all in Summerwell's case. And, I don't want to get all in it now until and if there's something. I mean, maybe I'll go live on it sometime, and I have, or, but I'm watching it. I still know what's going on. But there's been times, we had some crazy times, wild times. And I do think about everybody and stuff like that. And I like to go see the channels and see people and old stuff. But I can't stay awake. I'm just done. I am overdone, honey. It's done. It's done. No, they don't know Prayer Garden. We done talked about that. They don't know. But y'all, we used to have, but then again, YouTube is not the same it was 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's not the same. I don't know what this mess is going on now. So I just kind of try to stay in my little bubble over here. That's all I can tell you. It's the best place to be. And sometimes you ain't safe. You still ain't safe. But no, I appreciate it. I just wanted to talk on her, JonBenet. Like I said, that happened before I even got into true crime, but some cases, they still echo. You know, you can still talk about them. It don't matter if it's cold cases or not. Yeah, they are, Little Red-O. They are. Now, sometimes around this time of year, they go and they clean out all the people that's been inactive and stuff like that. But, double check. That's why a lot of people, some people don't get notifications. I've noticed mine picking back up. So just pick, go back. You might have to reset your whole computer, but I don't know. I've reset mine several times. I hadn't had to do it in a while, and I noticed everybody slowly, the views are slowly getting up, but it's not just one channel. It's all the channels. And, it made me think about my mom. I'm like, you got so many people we don't know. Maybe subs are in nursing homes. Maybe they're sick. Maybe they have, passed away, and their accounts have become inactive, and YouTube just wipes them all away. But don't fret, Little Red. Don't fret. Just keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. And I thought in Sherry, in my opinion, a while ago, was going to be the only one in here, and that was okay with me, because you know why? It's just as important to me that whenever I put something out, if they come and they watch the replay, they may just be busy. It's just fine, Day. Sue. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just her. It's all these people. Good God, that's what they, sometimes you got to laugh, lighten up. But these people on here, I have never seen anything like it. Now, it is nothing but pure hatred. Nobody should live like that. And if you feel like that, get off. Hang it up. Take a break. There's some that said that, there's some, let me put it this way, because I'm trying to be nice, but if the shoe fits and wear it, but there's some that got their channel suspended for 7 days, I think. And they say, there's no, you can't, it's bannivating if you go online. It's bannivating if you do it. And then you got them going, oh, no, not me, but here, give me that $100, $20, grifting. Oh, my God. It is sickening. It's just really sickening. But you don't have to, everybody wants to be so serious. There's no reason to be so serious. And now some of these cases, they get you down. And, listen, I was talking with one of my moms the other day, and she said it, and I said it. It's the same thing. Take Seth. I do Sebastian's, for example, a lot. And I talk to Seth, and he can't get no break. He can't walk away and put it down. I can walk away for 2 or 3 days. I can go on vacation. I can go on. So can Prayer Garden. So can Little Red. So can H. Davis. H. Davis can say, I'm not coming back on here and going to do this, whatever, for a little while. I'll be gone for a little while. I get mail like that all the time. But these people that lose their children or have lost their children and don't know where they're at and they're missing, even with JonBenet right here, they can't just walk away. Unfortunately, that's their new everyday life. That's just the way it is. But I hope and I pray with all of my heart that one day all of these cases will be solved. And I pray that all these kids will be found, no matter who they are. No matter who they are. And I hope justice gets served to whoever, if there's anybody, to whoever. But these kids don't just go missing by themselves. You know? It's sad. But you got to lighten up a little bit. And if you can't take the heat, you can't run with the big dogs, get off of the porch, honey. Get off of the porch. But it's all good. But I love y'all, and I thank you for coming over and spending some time with me. I guess I'll go now because the ones that are new, if they come in here to watch a replay, they'll think this lady is really crazy, which I am, by the way. I'm very nuts. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and talk about JonBenet, and I hope that the evidence points to wherever they need it to point to. But another thing, how can they say, we got new evidence, it's active, but it's still a cold case? Well, I guess they can. I guess that's just something that they do. So I don't know. But just pray for JonBenet and just pray that everything gets resolved and pray for all these kids. I love y'all. I thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Y'all have a good day. Bye.